Are you ready?
Yes! Woo!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For WrestleTrivia, I'm your host, Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah!
And you're watching episode 71 of Wrestling Jeopardy. Now, can you beat this ultimate trivia challenge?
Well, the answer is that as eloquent and intelligent as I am.
I don't know!
Let's go to the board and find out the categories that you're going to be quizzed on. Our first category, Bobby the Brain Heenan one-liners, followed by birthday bashes. Our third category, sleeper holds. Our fourth category, dun dun dun, unsolved mysteries. And our fifth and final category, as voted on by you, the WrestleTrivia community. This poll had kind of an NFL football theme to it. The three choices were Cowboys, Giants, and Vikings. And the winning choice, well, it's kind of interesting since the New York football team can't win at all. The fifth category will be about Giants. And that's how it means it's time for the 200-point jobber round, the easiest round in Wrestling Jeopardy.
And what comes out of this mouth is as good as gold.
All right, let's kick things off with the first clue on the board from Bobby Heenan one-liners. Speaking about this superstar's betrayal of his Rockers tag team partner, Bobby said, "Oh, I just knew he was going to do that. I just knew he was going to do that. He don't need Jannetty." And of course, we're talking about the infamous barbershop incident, and the correct answer is Shawn Michaels. We're on to birthday bashes for 200. A live musical performance by Mr. 305 Pitbull highlighted a star-studded birthday celebration in Miami, Florida for this electrifying superstar in May 2011. Who is The Rock? Dwayne Johnson. All right, wake up. It's time for sleeper holds now for 200. Using it like a mighty weapon, Sergeant Slaughter popularized this variation of the sleeper. And it was called the Cobra Clutch. Moving on to unsolved mysteries now for the first time. A 4th of July food fight in 2016 led to this WWE superstar getting a pie thrown in his face. And we still have no clue who did this. Could it have been Vince McMahon, Sami Zayn, or possibly El Generico? Anywho, the correct answer, who is Kevin Owens? And let's close out the jobber round with this clue. Nicknamed the 8th wonder of the world, this giant collided with Big John Studd in a career versus $15,000 body slam challenge at the very first WrestleMania. Let me try and do this in my best Howard Finkel impersonation. Who is Andre the Giant? All right, time to hear from one of you, the contestants of Wrestling Jeopardy. Marty Hunt 7425 left a comment saying, "I played with my brother for the first time and he got 8,600. I unfortunately got 3,200.
But that's life. What are you gonna do?
Shake it off, Marty, okay? You're gonna get him next time. But it's actually interesting that you mentioned you played against one another. One of our loyal viewers, Dan the Man, created a printout PDF document that you can use and play along with a big group of friends, and you can keep your score as you try and beat all your buddies. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I'll also put it on our website, www.wrestletrivia.com.
Okay.
All right, we're back to more Bobby Heenan one-liners. This one's going to be worth 400 points. Speaking about this Native American superstar's entrance, Bobby said, "Is he dancing or does he have a tack in his shoe?" Who is Tatanka? And let's celebrate some more birthday bashes. This one worth 400 points. Batista definitely got Triple H's attention after attacking Ric Flair backstage during a celebration to commemorate this milestone birthday for the Nature Boy in February 2019. And the correct answer, what was the Nature Boy's 70th birthday? I said 70th birthday.
He tried it.
Here comes the second clue from Sleeper Holds, worth 400 points. This legendary sleeper variation earned big bucks for Ted DiBiase. What is the $1 million dream? All right, take off your thinking cap, put on your detective cap. Here's another unsolved mystery, this one worth 400 points. WCW never had any plans to reveal who crashed a white Hummer into this wrestler's limousine in June 1999. Now, people speculated at the time it could have been Randy Savage, it could have been Sid Vicious, or possibly Ralphus, but it's neither here nor there because Kevin Nash was actually stuck in that limousine. And let's finish up the 400-point round with this clue about giants. The late Gorilla Monsoon dubbed King Kong Bundy a walking blank. And that would be a walking condominium.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
All right, 10 questions down, 15 to go, plus the daily double, a bonus question, and final Jeopardy. We're jumping back across the board to another one of Bobby Heenan's greatest one-liners. Speaking about this couple's decision to name their son Bruce, what a stupid name. You have 9 months and you come up with Bruce. Who were Stu and Helen Hart? Here comes the 600-point clue from Birthday Bashes. Brock Lesnar interrupted Hulk Hogan's birthday celebration in 2014 and delivered this iconic line. Now, I could reveal this answer, or I could just have the Beast Incarnate do it himself. Take it away, Brock.
Party's over, Grandpa.
What the hell?
LOL.
And we've reached the halfway point of the game. Here is the 600-point clue from Sleeper Holds. A big part of Samoa Joe's dominance was his version of a rear naked choke, also known by this name. Trailblazing a path of destruction in both Ring of Honor and TNA was Joe and his Coquina Clutch. Moving on to another unsolved mystery for 600. This WWE publicity stunt ended abruptly in 2008 after the set fell on Vince McMahon and severely injured him. And it was called $1 Million Mania. All right, let's close out the board with this 600-point clue from Giants. All right, a little bit earlier than usual, but I'm sure it's still anybody's game if you're playing along.
Dummy. Yeah. Yeah.
The category, once again, is Giants. Place your wager now. All right, time is up. Here's this episode's Daily Double Clue. In 2006, this wrestler placed 91st in a poll that ranked the top 100 historical persons in Japan. Best known as the co-founder of All Japan Pro Wrestling, who was Giant Baba.
Finish him.
All right, we're on to another Bobby Heenan one-liner, this one worth 800 points. Speaking about this tag team's rather unpleasant smell, Bobby said the bad thing is that win, lose, or draw, you gotta have everything you've got on fumigated. And this was in reference to Luke and Butch, who were the Bushwhackers. Here's another clue from Birthday Bashes worth 800 points. There were plenty of party streamers and kazoos to celebrate this superstar's birthday on Raw in October 2000. This is a tough one. I actually didn't remember this. The correct answer, who is Edge? All right, and here's episode 71's bonus question. If you answer this correctly, you will double your score. Who gave Edge an autographed picture of himself for a birthday gift? Once again, I could answer this, or I could just let Edge have the honors.
To Edge, I think I know you. Your friend, Kurt Angle. It's true.
Check it out. You think you know me? You think you know me?
All right, grab yourself a cup of coffee or take a 5-hour energy. We have another clue about sleeper holds, this one worth 800 points. The Taz mission is a modified version of this judo chokehold. One of the most feared sleeper holds on the planet. What is the kata hajime? Moving on to another unsolved mystery for 800. On an episode of Raw in 2003, Booker T was handed a note backstage by this superstar that read, "I still remember." It was one segment, never heard of again. The note wasn't necessarily supposed to be from this guy. I think it could have possibly been from Goldust. But the answer here, who is Heidenreich? And here comes the final clue before we reach the main event 1,000 point round. It's from Giants and it's worth 800 points. And it's courtesy of WrestleTrivia channel member Steve Bonneman, who wrote, a short-lived member of WCW's Dungeon of Doom, Loch Ness was better known by this name during his incredible career in the United Kingdom. His battles against Big Daddy became the stuff of legend as a reported 20 million people turned on the telly to see their titanic clashes during the peak of British wrestling. Loch Ness was better known as Giant Haystacks. All right, hopefully you've collected a haystack full of points.
Keep your hands out of there, pal.
But it's time to put up or shut up. It's the main event. 5 1,000 point questions guaranteed to put your wrestling knowledge to the test.
I can't tell you what I'm going to do with them because it won't be allowed on TV. But you can imagine, Mean Gene.
And we begin with the final one-liner, courtesy of Bobby the Brain Heenan. Speaking about this former Intercontinental Champion, Bobby said, $1 million body, 10-cent mind, and Whoopi Goldberg's hairdo. And this was in reference to the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. Here comes the final clue from Birthday Bashes, worth 1,000 points. The video of this WWE Hall of Famer singing Happy Birthday to John Cena in April 2012 has over 33 million views on YouTube. You know, I probably could have also put this in the Giants category, but I didn't. The correct answer, who is the Great Khali?
Happy birthday to you.
3 clues left. Here's the 1,000 point clue from Sleeper Holds. Using it as his primary finisher, Adrian Adonis appropriately named his version of the Sleeper after this American folk song. What is Goodnight Irene? 2 clues left. Here's the final unsolved mystery for 1,000. In 1988, this female manager threatened that if Dusty Rhodes didn't grant Larry Zbyszko an NWA United States title shot, she would reveal some very controversial photos of the American Dream. But we never found out exactly what those photos were of because she got fired for following her husband, Sam Houston, to the WWE. Who is Baby Doll? And let's finish up the board. This is the final clue before Final Jeopardy. When Harley Race was first getting into the wrestling business as a teenager, he worked as an assistant for this 800-pound wrestler. Now this was in the early 60s, and a 17-year-old Harley Race would drive this behemoth around, and he'd also bathe him from time to time, which involved using a mop and a bucket to get him clean while the gargantuan Happy Humphrey just laid down there, completely butt naked.
Cock.
All right, 26 clues are down, and only one separates you from becoming the ultimate WrestleTrivia champion. Let's find out what this episode's Final Jeopardy category is. partners of Punk? All right, time's up. Here's episode 71's final Jeopardy clue. Who was the first woman to partner with CM Punk in a WWE mixed tag team match? Was it A, AJ Lee, B, Kelly Kelly, C, Mickie James, or D, Serena Deeb? Good luck. And these two first teamed up in a mixed tag match in February 2009, losing to Layla and William Regal. The correct answer, who is Mickie James? And that does it for another episode of Wrestling Jeopardy! My name is Kevin J. Callis. Make sure you follow me on all my socials at Kevin J. Callis, and I'll see you next time.